Hi, I'm Rhonda.
And I'm Angie.
And we are Adventures in Nomadness. Today's topic, pool noodles, but I bet you already guessed that. And it's not just about swimming anymore. Stay tuned for some ideas and things we found?
Things we've used pool noodles for in RVs.
Ow! Again, I just hit my head. Can't remember to duck. I know. I'll use my noodle and create a solution using pool noodles. Oh, perfect. Let's see if it works in other places I've hit my head. Oh, wait. The awning support. I've done that. Oh, wait. Bending over. Yeah, it works for that too. But seriously, do you really want to wear this around camp when you could come up with other solutions to solve the many areas that are unsafe or potential problems?
Well, if you're like us, even though I'm short, I still hit my head on this awning bar thing here. So you can take a pool noodle and actually just cut it and put it on the one side here. You can actually do two of them and put it on both sides. So
really, one pool noodle cut in half and then sliced down the middle will fit one on each side basically. So one pool noodle will solve your problem of hitting your head on this and giving yourself a serious concussion, which I have practiced.
It's a good thing about being short. I don't hit my head as much as you do.
Yeah.
Is that what's wrong with you?
Yeah. So one of the other ways that pool noodles are used are to make a cord, like our water hose or power cord, straight and identify it or highlight it so you don't trip over it. So basically, trying to avoid trips. So a big thing to look for or possible uses on pool noodles is anything that's sharp, like slide out corners. We've seen that on there. Fifth wheel kingpins, something to run into so it helps you see it, and if you do run into it, it won't hurt as much. And the other thing is I've seen it on satellite tripods, the legs, so that helps you to see them. I've seen other things put on them, but that's one of the things that I've seen, so that's a cheap solution. So the big thing with pool noodles is they're cheap. Like the standard size is about $2 at a dollar store, and you can find them a lot of places, especially in the summertime. Well, what can you do with a little pool noodle and a little thinking about a problem? Well, in this case, we've got propane hose that was rubbing on this propane tank holder. And so to prevent this from continuing to rub, we put some pool noodle on there, and it's really just as easy as taking a small piece this size, cutting it down the middle and cutting a little bit out of it so that it's a little more snugger on this propane line, and squish it down in there and put some tape around it, and that's it. Simple. The things that we use pool noodles on is our ladder. We demoed that on a walk around of the 21 when we first got it. So go back to that video if you'd like to see a little bit more about actually how we used it. But I thought for this video I'd show how we actually put it on. So once you've slit this in half, this is pretty typical for using the longer piece. You just cut it with a box cutter is what we used. So you're tent camping or you're RVing and your toilet broke. Either case, maybe you're looking for a makeshift toilet. Well, if you've got yourself a bucket in a pool noodle sliced down the middle and then wrapped around the top, makes a great
seat.
Toilet seat that's comfortable enough to sit on. I will demonstrate. There's no way I would be sitting on this bucket if it didn't have this pool noodle on it. So when we got the pool noodles for the ladder, we cut off an end just enough that we needed, and the rest went on the ladder. So this way we only used one pool noodle to solve two problems. And this problem is the microwave plate. Now I suppose you could take this out and store it somewhere else or put the plate in something. But what we do is we put a pool noodle in here that's just big enough to maintain pressure from here to here. And that plate does not want to move. So other people I've seen use cardboard, but I like this solution a little bit better just because I think it's probably lasts a little longer.
So Blitz wants to demonstrate the other use of a pool noodle here. So we found another suggestion on the forum, and we found this larger diameter pool noodle, and it serves two purposes. One, it increases the lumbar support behind the cushion here, and it also increases the ventilation. So RVs are well known for condensation problems, and this increases the air circulation back in here, so the cushions are a little bit off the wall and we have less condensation and moisture back in here.
Another way that you can use your noodle and create a pool noodle fix for a problem is if you've got windows that gradually work themselves open. So all you gotta do is cut off, I'd say a little less than an inch, about the same size as small pool noodle. Cut it in half so that you can fit it over here, and you're just sticking this behind the handle, and now it does not want to turn. So when you go down the road and you hit a lot of bumps, if you've got loose knobs that want to just let the window slightly start going open, this is a great solution for that. And we got this off the forum. So there's lots of other purposes or uses for pool noodles, and we'd love to hear from you on how you've used it or how you've seen them used. And even if you're not an RVer, you might just find that a pool noodle will come in handy, like for biking, and Angie might just have a bonus segment on bikes.
I just might. But hey, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and you'll get notifications of when we have new videos. And if you have any other uses for pool noodles that we haven't covered and we know we've barely scratched the surface, please leave a comment below, and we'd love to hear those. Have a great day.
Happy travels.
Another use for pool noodles, yay! So one of the complaints I have seen on this particular Swagman dispatch bike rack is the fact that this the tube, the tie down thing here, kind of the way that it ratchets it down on the frame, can cause some paint damage. And these are pretty nice bikes, so we've used pool noodles in order to protect this. So that should work pretty good. A couple little rub spots, we might actually be able to put a little piece of pool noodle through there as well. Otherwise it might rub a little bit of the tape off of here and back here on this handlebar too. That's on there pretty tight, but so I think that might actually be okay. But pool noodles for bikes. Why do I have one attached to my bike? This is an awesome idea from that I got from Outside Magazine, and I've done enough bike riding. I've done the Seattle to Portland bike ride a couple times, and there's no kind of worse feeling than having a car or truck skim within inches of you, and you feel like if you just moved over slightly, you'd probably hit them, they'd hit you. That's not a good feeling. So from Outside Magazine, I saw this great article on putting a pool noodle on the back of your bike. This basically lets drivers know, hey, this is how much clearance you should give me. So back over and give me the clearance that I deserve.